What's up, YouTube? AZ Cards here again. It's been a while since I made a video. I was actually planning on making a video, but I put a whole thing on my Instagram saying, ask me these questions, whatever you want to ask me, and then I wrote everyone's name down, and I deleted I deleted the post before I wrote down the questions. So round two, gonna try it again this time. It's been a couple of weeks, but so I got a couple of questions. It's late at night, so it's like I live in Arizona. It's midnight, but I'm off work tomorrow, so let's make a video. Let's make a YouTube video right now. The first question I got was, why did I start collecting? Really for me, uh, it was like, I don't know, middle school, 2007, 2008. I have like a binder. It's like really old with like really old score cards in there and just like, $1.99 packs from Target that my dad let me buy a couple of times, and that's really where my collection started. Um, I started on Instagram and met a couple of guys. Actually, one of my buddies I went to high school with was already on Instagram, and I didn't even know that. So then we kind of were like, let's go to shows. Let's get let's get some real cards. He introduced me to buying off eBay, and from that it's just one thing led to another, and I started back in 2012, like seriously collecting, going to card shows, buying stuff off of eBay, and dealing on Instagram as well with people I've met. My favorite part about collecting is just getting to meet all these guys, getting to meet and talk to them. Um, it's just the fun part about the whole hobby is like you see these guys as like a username, and you know them as a username for like, I don't know, a year and a half, maybe like 8 months, and then the national comes around, and then everyone's going to the national. You're like, whoa, wait, you're so and so, like I met my buddy Norman. He's like, whoa, you're 80 Jags Collector 23. Like, you put a face to a username, and now it's not just a username. It's your buddy. You've met this kid. You've met this guy. You meet someone like Kentucky basketball cards, and you talk to them, and it's like, you can have conversation with people over DM or arguing over comments on Instagram, but like you talk to these people and you text them all day, and you're liking their cards, you're dealing, you're trading with them, and that's the best part of it. That's the best part of the hobby, is getting to meet these guys that you've talked to forever, and then you get to finally meet them face to face, and it's like you know them. Like, we've never met, but I know you because we've talked like every day. I think that's probably my favorite part about collecting. My favorite card in my collection. Um, it's like my favorite and like probably my most expensive, so it's like a double whammy. But it's this bad boy right here. This is Tyran's rookie year, so 2013 National Treasure. 101 Shield right here. It's the most money I've paid for a card. It's also my favorite card, and I'm a Cardinals season ticket holder. This card is never leaving my collection, unless I got a dumb offer for this. Okay? So that's probably my most expensive and my most favorite card in my collection. Um, let's see. I had a gentleman ask me what my favorite pull was. I've got two. One I had to sell, so I was kind of disappointed, but I sold it during Christmas time so I could get a Christmas gift. So, I kind of feel good about it. But I bought a box of 2012 Prominence and pulled, let's see if it'll pick it up. It's not going to pick it up. But let's see, Andrew Luck helmet auto from Prominence. That was probably that's my best pull out of a box, out of a single box. It was $50, and they were clearancing them out, and I'm like, well, I'll just buy one. Why not? It's $50. I pulled an Andrew Luck, and I was pretty excited. And my other pull, me and my buddy Nick, he used to be on Instagram. He was CNG Cards. We bought a case, saved up for like a month and a half, and bought a case of Intrigue. And then we dumped all the boxes out. And we're like, all right, you pick 5 boxes, I'll pick 5 boxes, we'll open it. I ended up pulling this bad boy as a redemption. The Kevin Durant red, white, and blue autograph, which was, I was shaking. It was so cool because it wasn't live, it was redemption, so I had to wait for Panini. But just opening and like slow rolling the redemption, I was like, I've seen this card. I'm like, I just watched a break on Cards of Affinity. So I was watching one of his breaks, and he pulled the card, and I'm like, it just says card number. It doesn't even give you the player name. And I'm like, I know this card. Where have I seen this card before? So I freaked out. I'm a big KD fan. I'm not a big basketball fan, but I follow basketball. I love talking basketball, but I mean, we have the Suns. Come on now. But I love Kevin Durant. And so pulling the redemption after I just saw a video of, it being pulled, I was like, wow, that'd be a sweet card to have. And then I pull it, and then Panini was just real quick with the redemption. And so that's probably my two best pulls, the luck and then that one. Best Instagram memory. It goes back to the National. Last year in Chicago, getting to meet all the guys I talked to, getting to meet guys like Card Collector 2, Ryan, and Norman, like I said, N.A. Crow, and AD Jax Treasure 23 keeps changing his name, but getting to meet all those guys and getting to meet my buddy Josh, Cardmaster 13, it's just really cool. Like I'm older in the community. Some of these guys are high school kids, middle school kids, but so I kind of look at them like, yo, I'm the older brother. So it's kind of fun. I get to pick on them, get to tease them a little bit, But at the end of the day, getting to meet all of them, getting to meet those guys, getting to just talk sports, getting to talk collecting with them. And that's the best part about the hobby. Get to know these guys. Who else is next? Nationals experience. It was amazing. That was my first one with Chicago last year, and the whole trip I was by myself. So I went by myself, just me on the airplane, just me in the hotel room. And it was just cool to wake up, walk down the street, go to the National, and it's just cards everywhere. It's just like, what? Like, this is insane. And then you have all the guys who are there signing stuff, and it's just too much. It is way too much stuff. You're there. I was there for 3 days, 2 nights, 3 days, and it was awesome. It was like the coolest thing. I watched the first day I was there, I watched a guy drop $3,600 on 2 luck contender cards, and I was just like, dude, what? What? Oh, man. So that's probably my Nationals experience. It was really cool getting to meet everyone again as well. I know I've said it like 8 times, but that's like the whole hobby. Like, Instagram's great. Instagram's like great to, get your foot in the door and meet these people and, share your collections with, maybe make a deal or two, but getting to know the guys and, people like Purple's Cards, Gabe. I've never met Gabe yet. Probably going to meet him at the National this year. But he's just laid back kid. He's cool. He likes Star Wars. That's great. You like Star Wars? I like Star Wars. It's great. It's perfect. But you never know that unless you get out there and start talking to these guys. I mean, that's the whole thing. People are going to say the community's bad, but, every community has everyone has a little bad bunch. You got the troublemakers, right? Then you got, everyone's got them. But you find your group of people in the community that you enjoy talking to, that make it fun for you, that you talk to through DMs or you kick them, it just makes it so much better and just so much more enjoyable. Like, you go away for like 5 days and you're like, come back, you're like, oh man, what I miss, did Norman pick up a sweet, Allen Robinson card, it's just all that stuff, it's Josh, oh man, dude, there's Cards Fan 13, Cards Fan, he's making more drama, he's posting Jordan crying memes and you're just like, dude, I leave for 3 days, and the whole place just goes to hell. Now I gotta catch up, almost need like an Instagram, like tabloid, just so I can I need like the People's Magazine of Instagram so I can just catch up on all the news, who called who a scammer, who, all that stuff, who's doing polls, it's just too much fun. But I did want to turn it to, I got a couple of questions talking about the Cardinals. Serious business now. Talking about my Cardinals. I've been a season ticket holder for 13 years. They're my team. Growing up, I was a Packer fan, and then we moved out here in 2002. And since 2003, well, the summer of 2002, so then the 2002-2003 season was season tickets, and ever since then, I've sat through a lot of bad football games. I've seen a lot of bad teams, so I think I'm a diehard. I would consider myself a diehard Cardinal fan. I'm wearing I got my Salute to Service shirt on right now. Oh, other way. Oh, there it is. I've got helmets, mini helmets, footballs, all my Cardinal stuff. I've got more Cardinal stuff above my desk. I've got a whole bunch of Cardinal stuff. I've got a Packer blanket, but that's because it's soft. It's really soft. Like, you can't even hate on it. All right? But I had a couple people ask me who I want to see him take in the first round and free agent-wise. It's tough. Free agency started today, and I'm really excited. But then the news that they may be shopping Calais Campbell broke, and I was like, that would suck. Calais is a monster. He's a great defensive end. But I understand, like, I want to do sports management. I want to be a GM one day. That's long-term goals. Is I want to be a general manager. But it's just numbers. Like, fans get upset, but like people who understand the cap and understand free agency, they know. They're like, Calais Campbell, you can't afford to pay him $15 million. Like, that cap number is ridiculous. If they keep him, they keep him. I'm happy. If they move him, I hope we get something nice back for him because he's a hell of a player. He went to the Pro Bowl this year. I went to the Pro Bowl in Hawaii, got to see him there. It was cool. It was such a unique experience to, like, be in Hawaii and just, like, see every team's fans in Hawaii and just, like, oh, there's a Cincinnati jersey. Oh, there's a Jacksonville jersey. Oh, there's a Seahawks jersey. Hey, Cardinal fans. It was too much fun. If you have a chance to go to the Pro Bowl in Hawaii, if it's still there, before the NFL moves it to, like, Brazil or Jamaica or gets crazy with it, you got to go. I recommend going. But first round, like, dream scenario, what I want is I want Darian Thompson, the safety from Boise State. That's who I want the Cardinals to take in the first round. I don't think it'll happen. Rashad Johnson's gone. He's not coming back. We tendered Tony Jefferson, but with Deion Buchanan playing this middle linebacker role, hybrid linebacker role, whatever you want to call him, I don't think they're going to use him at safety, which means you've got Tyrann and Tony Jefferson. So I think they could take another safety. Then that puts Tyrann more, like, in the slot. He can play corner a little bit more. That's what I'd like to see. I don't think it's going to happen. Now the news that Drew Stanton's probably gone means we may be drafting a quarterback. Another one. I mean, the mock drafts, like, from here on out is just going to be like, 28, I think the Cardinals are going to take Connor Cook. And I'm like, no, take a playmaker, not a guy who's going to sit for 3 years. Wait till, like, the third or fourth round, take Dak Prescott. I would rather have him. Well, he's a little bit shorter, but I don't know. Connor Cook is a guy from Draft Day. If you haven't seen the movie, he is Bo Callahan. Go watch the movie. You'll get the reference. That's it. Teammates didn't go to his birthday party. All right. All right. The last question I got is my favorite player in the NFL. My favorite player, I'm going to give you two. I'm going to go 2 questions here. I'm going to go favorite player in the NFL is easily, it's Aaron Rodgers. Like I said, I grew up a Packer fan. Then we moved out here, and now I'm a Cardinal fan. But, I mean, what Aaron Rodgers does is just remarkable. His offensive line this year was not good. They were injured. I think, like, the playoff game was the first time he had all 5 starters back against the Cardinals this year. It was, like, the first time since, like, week 4. The wide receivers, Jordy being gone for the year sucked. I mean, it showed. I mean, they were a contender in the playoffs. They were Oh, the Hail Marys. I'm not gonna talk about that. That was that was painful. That was painful to sit there in that stadium, and you're like, no, this is unreal. Because the first one, no one shows the first one on ESPN or nothing. You just see the one that was a touchdown, the second Hail Mary. The first play of the drive, well, not even the first play, the first Hail Mary of that drive, he was in his own end zone, about 5-6 yards deep in his own end zone, and just heaves it on, like, 4th and 20. And you're just like, I'm like, we're going to overtime. It's just going to happen. Like, I don't even, like, they still got to go 50 more yards, but it's overtime. It's over. It's Aaron Rodgers. He's the best quarterback in the NFL. Him and Tom Brady can make no-name wide receivers just look great, except for Devontae Adams, because Devontae Adams can't catch a football. And then my second player, I'm going to go with my favorite Cardinal. Favorite Cardinal is probably going to have to be John Brown. And probably Tony Jefferson. John Brown, I've met him a couple of times. The guys who do autograph signings around me, they've got John a couple of times to come in, and he's just I've got to speak with them, and he's just really laid back, really approachable. He's not like one of those like high, nose in the air kind of guys. He's from Pittsburgh State. He's from a small school. He's really cool, really laid back, really nice to talk to. And John Brown's one, and then two is Tony Jefferson. Tony Jefferson was an undrafted free agent from Oklahoma, and he had like a first round grade on him from scouts. So that's why he came out. He came out early and didn't get drafted, and so he's the funniest guy in the world on Twitter. Like, I follow Tony Jefferson on Twitter, and I mean his Twitter bio is just trying to get my Madden rating up. Like, the guy is he's just too funny. He's just like the attitude of the defensive backs, and he calls out people on Twitter, and he's always starting shit. It's the funniest thing ever. So I really enjoy Tony Jefferson on social media and on the football field. I mean, Tony Jefferson is a hell of a safety, and he's probably a starter for like 28 other teams in the NFL, and he's in a rotation in Arizona. And I think next year they tendered him. He's probably coming back. They're going to match anything unless they get just a ridiculous offer for him that they just can't match. So Tony Jefferson is going to be a name to look for next year. Well, you get to see him all the time because the Cardinals are going to be on TV all the time like we were this year. But that's it. Thanks to the guys on Instagram who gave me the questions. I'm going to start focusing more on YouTube videos and putting stuff out like mail days and all that jazz. Kind of start working both Instagram and YouTube. So thanks again for watching the video. Like, comment, subscribe, help me out. Drop some more questions in the comments so I can make another video for you guys. Get to know me a little bit more, and look forward to talking to you guys soon.